that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now am found. Was blind, but now I see.
Is there anyone who could help our church? We are a small congregation of 11 members. We currently lost an elder in our church, and we only have one male leader. We do not have a preacher, and now we have been told that the church may have to close down. I watched your evangelism videos, and they were encouraging. I know there's much more that I can do to help the church and our community. We really need help in the area of evangelism and preaching support. If there is any way you can help us, it will be such a blessing. How would you respond to this letter, to this call for help? HomeMission responded immediately. The church decided to continue if we could find them a preacher. Jonathan Orr, one of our evangelists, located one, and now they have been between 20 and 25 in attendance every Sunday. And Jonathan also went back and held a VBS for them, and 26 children from the small community of about 1,000 came to the event. The church is now energized and ready to grow. All glory to God. "500 miles away, we received a call from a preacher. He said, if you can't come down and do something, we will close this church before the end of the year." What would you say to that? Another church that did close told us that they did not want our help 5 years ago. Instead, they hired another group who came in and charged them several $1,000s to grow and then left. They were meeting in a relatively new building, but they closed in June. Hello, my name is John Orr. I am the National Director for HomeMission. We are under the oversight of the West Freeway Church of Christ in Fort Worth, Texas. It is impossible to emphasize the magnitude of need in our own backyard. Help us save some of the 70 to 110 churches that will close down next year and the years after that. While others continue to lament over a shrinking attendance and an uncertain future, we believe in the power of God to change lives. However, there is no easy fix. We continually follow up and meet needs. So what does HomeMission do? Primarily, we work to rescue struggling congregations. In an article entitled by the Christian Chronicle entitled, "Where Have All the Churches Gone?" they said about HomeMission, everything about HomeMission is evangelism. We know that a church doesn't change overnight, so we have tools we give them to help them evangelize, and we hope within 5 years that 30% of the congregation can hold Bible studies. That's our goal. Another one of the churches that we worked with said, "I can say without hesitation, HomeMission has given us the tools to encourage, equip, and evangelize this town of 1,800 in southern Illinois. Without their intercession, we wouldn't have been here as a church much longer." The idea of being with churches and helping them grow and to turn things around is not an easy work. It's a very demanding work. We also provide on-site training and resources, and this is the most difficult of all. We can't do it by Zoom. We can't do it through the internet. We have to go to the churches and work with them and help them grow and teach them how to grow. We do a series of workshops over a period of 3 to 5 years. The launch session, our first one, the circle of influence, higher ground giving workshops, one heart, one voice singing workshop, the rest of the story evangelism workshop, leadership workshop, and Bible study digging tools or how to study the Bible workshop. We have been doing launch sessions in 46 states with over 400 churches in the last 7 years. Not just myself, but other evangelists as well. Jonathan Orr did a launch session at the Callisburg Church of Christ in January of 2022. The preacher recorded these remarkable statistics. Brother Ben Willingham said the average attendance for January was 47. And then Jonathan implemented the habanera ministry and the launch session in January 30th of the same year. Then by February, they grew to 68. March, they grew to 72 average. April, the average attendance was 96. Now, this isn't the normal situation. Normally, churches don't grow that fast. And we want the church to be a healthy church before it's a growing church. We also follow up with disaster relief. We monitor disaster relief efforts, and if our evangelists are available, we will contact the church about a year later. We'll come in and teach them new Christian follow-up, the habanera system, which is a record-keeping and contact-making system, and work toward follow-up on all the prospects they have. We have already seen the results from 2 of the churches we assist. One has gone back to the contacts 4 years ago and have had baptisms. The following is a letter from that church. Hello, John. I hope that this letter finds you in good health. I wanted to follow up with you to address our discussion regarding the follow-up we provided to our disaster relief effort of June 2018. I believe it was late last year, 2021, that we began our follow-up with a list of about 500 families we helped with food, clothing, and appliances. The family contacts we have made so far have been friendly, and the people recalled the help that the church provided did make a difference. I would personally add that the habanera ministry from HomeMission would provide a good system to follow up with contacts made with families that are receiving disaster relief. We are currently using it in our disaster relief follow-up. We are also using it to follow up with our monthly door knocking program, and so far it has yielded 3 baptisms. In conclusion, I believe that a coordinated effort of follow-up within not more than 45 days after providing disaster relief with intent of asking for a Bible study would produce more opportunities to save souls. In his service, Andy Downing, Weslaco Church of Christ. We believe that it'll be about a year to a year and a half before everything has settled down so that we can come in and teach them how to bring in new Christians and keep them. We'll also prepare them so that they can keep their follow-up, their contacts, how to follow up, how to encourage them, and how to build them up to where they can have Bible studies. We'll come back twice, and then a group that works with us called Gospel Sharing will come back in and follow up on all the door knocking and set up Bible studies. We believe in the future with this kind of help that churches can really multiply and the gospel can be preached. This is a lot better than the way that churches are dealing with things now. Most churches have less than 5 baptisms a year. Some churches have not had a baptism in 7 years. Sometimes we go into churches and the baptistry doesn't even work. And I say, why don't you fill the baptistry? And they said, why? No one wants to be baptized. And yet we ask them, where is your faith? You need to fill that baptistry up and then depend on God, and then you'll start looking for souls, and God will start bringing souls to you. But it begins with faith. We also encourage leadership. We encourage church leaders and challenge them to train others, to be faithful men, to be able to train others. 2 Timothy 2, verse 2. We have also helped to establish elders in churches without them and encourage every eldership to begin training more elders to follow them up. We received a letter in the mail not too long ago saying, just a note to say thank you to HomeMission for its part in helping us reinstall elders. We have been without elders for 10 years, and with the help of men like Dean Kilmer and Tom Betachek from HomeMission, we were able to work through the process and gain 3 new men to help lead our congregation. Both of these men from HomeMission have passed away since we installed elders this past Sunday, January 16th, 2022. But they will always be remembered and appreciated for their guidance in this endeavor. We hope many other congregations will take the leap of faith and call on HomeMission to lend them a hand in whatever their endeavors may be. God bless. Mark Hancock, Cold Springs Church of Christ, Lancaster, Texas. We also supply evangelist training. August the 15th of this year, we started the West Freeway School of Evangelism, a ministry of HomeMission. While we do evangelism training with preachers in the field, we have also started an evangelism training school in the West Freeway Church of Christ in Fort Worth, Texas. There are 5 months of teaching. There are 6 months then of being in the field. There are 15 evangelists that teach by weeks instead of semesters. And we have some wonderful teachers such as Phil Sanders, Jeff Jenkins, James Sanderson, and many others. Our director, Chris Graham, is also the preacher minister at the West Freeway Church of Christ. We're excited about this work, and we are fully funded and ready to go. We also connect congregations and other organizations with the congregations for additional assistance. The Killen Church of Christ in Killen, Alabama, assisted Elba Church of Christ in Elba, Alabama this past summer. The Elba Church of Christ wrote us and said, sometimes in life we need more help. Many times in church work we need help. We have recently found a team willing to spring into action and be that help. HomeMission, led by John Orr, is a team with a heart for serving God and others. Over the last year since meeting these guys at the Equip Workshop in Orlando, Florida, John has made multiple trips to Elba. He and the team have led workshops and helped us develop a plan to follow up on the large number of contacts we already have from our community service project and from the help from disaster relief 8 years ago. John is a great encourager who even challenged us to use the contact information from a 2015 flooding that occurred here in Elba in a special way, and as a result, we have seen some of those people at our recent VBS. The HomeMission team would be a great addition to the great work you are already doing. If you have questions or if I can help in any way, please call me at 334-763-0667, signed Philip Box, Minister, Elba Church of Christ, Elba, Alabama. Now you say, now how much does this cost? This seems like a very expensive operation. And the fact of the matter is, it is extremely expensive. But we do this at no charge to the congregations we work with, Can I repeat that? We do this at no charge to the congregation. We have worked with congregations as small as 5 and as large as 2,000 in specialty ways. How are we funded? Caring congregations and loving individuals keep us going. We are asking you to get involved today. What will you do to save the Lord's church in America? It costs us about $2,000 per church, per visit, including materials. Sometimes it's more. For the last 7 years, my wife and I have cashed in our retirement and have had to loan HomeMission in order to fill in the financial gaps as we move forward. Obviously, we cannot continue this much longer. We have responded to the needs of the Lord's church around the country. We never asked for money from the congregations that we work with. But by the guidance of God and His Word, we have created many tools and materials to assist the Lord's church, no matter how small or how large. So this time, we are asking all the members of the Church of Christ in America to help us help churches and stop the trend of dying churches. We are hoping to raise $500,000 by year's end. Why? We need more evangelists, more first responders, preachers who can fill in, and volunteers. How will you respond to this plea for help? May God bless you in your decision.
But now I'm found, was blind.